Cathy.
And this is Maggie Mae. Join us as we follow the moon. Today, we want to show you some absolutely amazing landscape out here in Nevada, just east of Las Vegas. We're at Valley of Fire State Park, and you've got to stick around through the end of this because you won't believe what's ahead.
Well, we haven't even seen it all yet, but my gosh, what we've seen so far.
I know. So come along.
Thanks.
And this is the scenery you have going into the park. There are entrances on the west and east side. We're going to come in on the west side, go up a loop road to the north, and then come on over to the east before we head back west after we've been through the entire park. But boy, what a view.
It is really beautiful.
And if as pretty as this is, you ain't seen nothing yet.
That's right.
As soon as you're in the park, you start to see a lot of traffic stopped and taking pictures. There is a good bit of wildlife in this park, and we'll share some of that with you as we go along. I think it's safe to say at this point we probably have seen more wildlife in Nevada than any other state. Nevada's really been such a total shock to me. How gorgeous it is.
And diverse.
Yeah, very. And this is all within a mile of coming in the park. You're seeing these kinds of sights. And we come up to one of the first parking areas, which is the Beehives Rock Formations, which obviously there you can see where they get their name.
That's right.
This is just across the road from them. How different that landscape is from that side where the beehives are.
Yeah, it's really amazing.
And everybody's out getting their pictures taken with all of these formations. On the formations, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, don't think you're going to just want to drive up and snap a photo either. You will want to get out. It draws you. It really calls you, come on out. You know, it's just so beautiful.
Yeah, definitely. And I believe east to west in this park is probably only about maybe 9 or 10 miles plus the northern loop. But it's all in a fairly compact area. We spent the entire day, as you'll see in this video, we spent the entire day in this park. Some great hikes, some great things that you can just see from the edge of the road in the car.
Yeah.
It has something for everybody. Now, Atlatl Rock is shaped like an atlatl, which is a Native American tool. To me, I guess I would say it resembles like a hatchet on a stick.
Yeah. That's
what the rock is in the shape of. But you go up the steps, and this is what you see there. It is covered with petroglyphs. And they've made this great staircase and landing area so that you can get up to it very easily. It's a lot of stairs, but it's an easy walk up. And you're right there beside them.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Some of the best viewing of these petroglyphs I think we've seen anywhere.
And so many.
Yeah. It does make you wonder what messages they were trying to convey to us.
And that's the view from the top.
Yeah, from the top of the stairs where you were up looking at the petroglyphs, that's the view you have. Now this is the campground right behind that. These are camp spaces out here. It was absolutely amazing looking.
Yeah, it was. We came at a good time of year too.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Now this is Arch Rock. You'll see it there in the center. And again, this one you can see right from the edge of the road. There's a nice little parking area there. And there's the arch. Now, we took a short hike right after that to the Petrified Logs loop. And this is a very short loop. I believe it's about a quarter of a mile long. And they have fenced off in there 4 or 5 different areas where there are these petrified logs. And just over millions of years in the right climate conditions, the rocks
Being underwater too.
the logs have actually turned to rock.
It's a shame they have to fence them, but people would take pieces.
And in all fairness, the coloration of them, they're brown in that somebody would probably step on it before they realized what they had done too. Well, from the Petrified Logs, we're going to take just a very short drive. All these are short drives. And you'll see the visitor center coming up here. Now, we'd gotten our map and everything at the entrance, so we actually, one of the few times we didn't start off at the visitor center. But the visitor center has a great little parking area. And from that parking area, again, they said it was 4/10 of a mile. I think it was pushing 1/10 of a mile.
Yeah,
Very
it was
short
pretty
walk
good.
over to Balancing Rock you see there in the foreground. And the road from the visitor center, taking the northern road, goes right past it. So you can get a good view of that one even from the road without walking over to it.
That's right.
So we make a little bit of change in elevation here. This is a fairly steep little incline here from the visitor center going on up. And it's going to take us through some beautiful scenery on our way to our next destination here.
The color is just so phenomenal.
And you see it with the blue skies, and then you'll see it later on in the video as the colors start to change later in the day.
Yeah, it gets beautiful.
And it's equally beautiful every time of the day. And the road winds right through the middle of these beautiful red rocks. So our next stop is Mouse's Tank.
Oh, this is a great walk.
This is. And Mouse's Tank is a 3/4 of a mile out and back. And it's in a lot of sand. It's the color of the red rocks, but it's soft sand that you're walking in.
Now that sand did get hot.
Yes. Yeah. This park is pet friendly all the way through, but do keep in mind how hot that sand gets if you've got a 4-legged friend with you.
Yeah, we always put Maggie in a backpack when we're going to be out walking and stuff like that anyway.
Now there's more petroglyphs on this trail all the way to the back. And especially where you see these dark areas of stone, that's where you start looking for all the inscriptions, the figurines that are
It was easy for them to scrape through that
Mhm.
that layer.
And so many interesting symbols that you really do wonder what the message was that they were trying to leave behind.
There she is.
She was riding along. But there literally, every time you went around a corner, there were more petroglyphs on this trail. It was just constant.
This area is really good for all levels of enthusiasts, as far as climbing and hiking.
Yeah, there are some that are almost more like rock climbing.
Yeah.
There are some that are just a casual walk.
Yeah. There's more petroglyphs up there.
As you go on back, you start to notice more of these holes in the rock. And that becomes important with the name, Mouse's Tanks. And the tanks are a natural tank to hold water. And you'll come all the way back through here, and you basically think you're at the end of the trail, and there's a little sign that I think said that it was 1,000 feet to the end of the trail. It maybe even was 100 feet. It wasn't very far. And there's our sign. And you think you're pretty much all the way through it, but there's an arrow going there, so we'll go on over in the direction of the arrow. And down in there is the tank. That is all full of water. Which I'm sure to some explorers was a very exciting thing to see.
Oh, yeah.
This is dry land, there's no doubt about it. Well, so far, it's been an amazing day on the hikes that we've been on, the drive, all the sights that we've seen. But we haven't seen anything yet.
That's right.
So from Mouse's Tank, we're going to go a very, very short distance, probably 3 or 4/10 of a mile. We'll come to our next pull off, and that is Rainbow Vista. And this is where you start to see those red rocks giving way to the white rocks. And that's where all these different colors are coming in from, as far out as you can see. You have the red rocks there on the right, then you start to have the lighter colors coming in on top of them. And it's just a beautiful variation of colors. Fire Canyon Overlook, you'll see to the right. The Silica Dome, you'll see just coming on screen there to the left. And you can walk all the way out there. You'll see people out there. And it's just, the views are just incredible. There again, Silica Dome.
You know, seriously, these videos, these pictures really don't do it justice either.
Yeah. As beautiful as it is, looking back at the video, it was so much more in person.
Being there in person, you're just in awe of it.
So we're taking the road that went off to the north in the park, and it will come up here. It gives you a nice scenic drive that's about 5.5 miles. There's 3 parking areas along the way, and several of those are 1.5-mile trail, 1.8 mile trail. They're a little bit longer than what we wanted to do in the heat of the afternoon. And you can see over on the right-hand side on the horizon, there's some smoke over there. There had been a fire they had developed, but I think that was out in a day's time.
Yeah. There are also areas here where they have picnic tables where you can bring your picnic lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Since you're going to be sitting there all day long or hiking around there.
There are campgrounds there in the park, and you do see motorhomes, especially Class Cs, but you do see motorhomes of all sizes going through the park. So if you don't have a toad, you're still safe to drive through here in your motorhome.
And I think there are some bathroom facilities at some of the areas, or the parking areas. They do ask you not to park on the side of the road, but
Yeah.
they have plenty of
For
parking.
overnight,
Yeah.
So as you come to the end of this northern road at the furthest part, you come to the White Domes Loop. And the White Domes Loop is about 1.25 miles loop. This is the parking area for it. And I have to say, we really did get a little bit sidetracked when we got here because we had somebody watching us.
Yeah, they were fun.
There are, out there in the middle, 3 beautiful bighorn sheep.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that one walking away there.
You see all 3 of them.
This was some of Cathy's handiwork with her telephoto lens. Those guys had just gotten done butting heads.
Oh, yeah.
It was so cool to watch. And the looks that they give you. I have been waiting the whole trip to see bighorn sheep. So there they go, up the side of the rock slope.
But they don't want you to think that you are chasing them off. Don't ever think you're chasing them off. They're just getting a better advantage point of view.
Yep. They're trying to get the vantage point of being able to keep their eyes firmly planted on anybody that's not a bighorn sheep.
That's right.
They are really beautiful creatures.
Yeah, they're watching us, keeping an eye.
Look at that. Ah. They were watching us as close as Maggie does at dinner time.
That's right.
As you look down through here, down in that canyon floor, there had been part of a movie filmed down in there. There's part of their movie set building down there along with a memorial.
I didn't go down in there. It was a long ways.
Yeah. By then we were so jazzed about having seen the bighorns. And Maggie was checking
But
it
I
out down
climbed
there
out
too.
on that rock.
Yep. Now these rock formations, I've never seen anything made quite the way these are. They almost look like they were string art or something put together. So on down the road we went. We're now heading to the eastern side of the park, and these are the 7 sisters. There are 7 of these rock formations all right there together. That bus you see was a wedding party. They just had a big wedding there. So we did have a little bit limited access to this one spot. But some amazing formations right there. And it's one of those places where you park. You can either just sit back and look at them. You can see all 7 from the same spot. Or you can walk amongst them. There are also 3 historic conservation cabins here when the Civilian Conservation Corps was working in the park back in the 20s or 30s. That's the interior of these cabins. Two of them have a common wall and then the other one is separate. But they all have their fireplaces there.
And that's their view.
More petroglyphs.
Yeah.
And again, the size and the scope of these petroglyphs, they're huge. We've seen a lot of them that are very small drawings. And some of these, I was jokingly calling billboards.
Yeah.
Because they're so big.
And there's great hikes through here too.
For any skill level. Now, as you leave the cabin area, you'll come down past Lone Rock, which I guess we can all figure out why it got its name.
Yeah.
And again, we're heading towards the eastern part of the park.
That one looked like a dump truck.
And as you're coming along the road, we're going to be looking for an area called Elephant Rock. And when you get to Elephant Rock, you'll immediately see it.
There you go.
Right there in the middle. You see the trunk going down there. And it is several different loose pieces of rock that are just kind of all wedged into place.
Yeah.
And I think gravity's kind of holding them together. There's a parking area. You can hike up to it. Again, very short hike. I think it's 0.2 miles. But it was getting late in the day. It was getting time to go home. So we drove back from east heading west to the west entrance where we came in. And I don't know if the sky is like this every night, but it was just incredible.
It looked like a fire rainbow.
Yeah. That's just amazing.
And that's why they call it the Valley of Fire.
Mm-hmm.
It does look like it's on fire.
We're driving back past the Seven Sisters. And as beautiful as those formations were with that blue sky behind them, it's amazing. This was a desert fox that took off across the road in front of us.
He made it.
Yep. I did sock on the brakes real hard once. I think I scared Cathy and Maggie to death. But there was a big desert jackrabbit, came out, plopped himself right down in the middle of our lane. I had to hit the brakes hard to miss him. And then he took off running. I didn't have the camera on at the time.
And look at the sun against those red rocks.
And like I said, the drive across that park is probably only maybe 9 or 10 miles total east to west, but there isn't a bad view in that entire length.
That's right.
Here behind us. What did you think about our day at Valley of Fire near Las Vegas, Nevada?
It has been fantastic. It really, I'm just blown away how beautiful this is. I feel like I'm just repeating myself over and over.
There's so much of it in this one. There's so many petroglyphs, so big. The rocks just go on and on.
The sand.
Yes.
Yeah. The colors are just incredible.
So with that, we hope you've enjoyed the video as much today as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. If you have, leave us a thumbs up. We sure appreciate it. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please subscribe, ring the notification bell, and that way you'll know when every one of our videos come out.
And thank you for following us as we follow the moon.
Thanks for watching today.
If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel.
And be sure to ring the notification bell so you'll know when new videos come out.
Don't forget to follow us on social media too.